We're gonna play a game. Just made it up right now. It's called Count the Characters. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba The Hinokami Chronicles. Alright, I'm over exaggerating. Alright. I just gotta start this off by saying the game is smooth.
I like that shit.
I like it. Obviously, I have positive, I have negative things to say about it, but when it comes to these anime games, I just tend to not be able to rag on them too aggressively because unfortunately they're all the same. But then there's always like some parts where you just question, like, what do you think? What were you thinking when you did this? Or on the other hand, it just feels like we're missing something. I don't even know. They're all the same, man. They are all the same. And what I mean by that is, it's almost like it's not necessarily Demon Slayer's fault. I'm telling you, remember what I said at the start. I like this game, bruh, for what it is. I have just been at it for so long with these anime games, you feel me? At this point, the bar is so low. And so there's this one fact about Demon Slayer that just threw me for a loop. I knew it was gonna be a problem prior to the game releasing. And it's like the way that they addressed it is intriguing. We're gonna play a game. Just made it up right now. It's called Count the Characters. Okay? 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Hey, Willikers, Jam. Why'd you stop? Because the rest are duplicates. Oh, wow. You're right. I know, man, we're not far into the story at this point, and at the end of the day, Demon Slayer doesn't have that many characters in total. Personally, man, I've read the manga, so I'm just kind of waiting for the crazy stuff to happen, and at the time, right, when I hadn't seen anything else, these beginning arcs were crazy. They were awesome. It's what made me, continue. But at this point, for me, I've just seen so much. But like I stated earlier, these anime games are all the same. Naruto's first game had 8 playable characters, and now look at it. So wait, hold on. If that's the case, then I guess Demon Slayer's actually doing pretty good. And if we did count the duplicates with the other costumes, we're at 18, over double what Naruto's first game had. Plus, we just got 2 new demons recently, and we're getting 2 more. Now we're at 22, and count another 2 to equal the 6 in total that they said we were going to get. And now we're at 24. But again, remove the duplicates and the realistic number is 17. Now shut up, bruh. I know some of the other characters play differently, entirely. But let me get my jokes off, bruh. I'm telling you, the good stuff is coming. The good part is coming. Trust the process. We just gotta figure this stuff out real quick. I don't know what it is, bro, but I don't got any interest in going online. Cause it's like the combat is real simple. Extra simple. But then I'm trying to do some stuff and it just don't be working. It doesn't work. And so in that sense, I know that there's something I'm missing. There's something somebody's not telling me, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So if I touched online, I know they know what's going on. They always know what's going on. And I'm gonna get bullied. Too old for that, bro. I don't got time for nah, bro, nah. Count me out.
6 hours later.
That's enough. We have a winner.
That was a great battle.
Never mind. Still got it. If you couldn't tell, I was putting this video together gradually as I was playing. And I gotta say, man, at the beginning, I wasn't necessarily in the mood to play this game, at all. I kind of felt like I had to. But as I kept coming back to it, kept reliving the beginning of the story. I started getting more attached to it and began understanding how to play better as well. And once I beat the game, it was really short. Thank you, Jesus. I said, screw it, let's try online. Contrary to what I was thinking, I only got my ass beat a little bit. Like a basic fighting game mentality, right, actually was helping me to win without knowing too many combos and those kind of things. And I was also putting stuff on the fly by myself. You know, I'm kind of like that. But nonetheless, right, this isn't Naruto Storm, nor am I 16 years old. I just don't have any interest in going too hard in this. Like, I don't know. It's not like I went that hard in Storm, but I had more of an urge to get good at the game. And so ultimately, the other problem is that now, this game is kind of just a story game experience for me. Not that that's awful, but like a big appeal that I used to have back in the day with the Storm series was using the characters I liked and going online. So if that's the main appeal and I don't have any interest in it, then the enjoyment is pretty short-lived. And on top of that, it's a short game, but I don't even want to say it in that tone because we gotta appreciate these shorter games. Because like I'm out here struggling with the long joints.
Honestly, it's kind of just like a me problem if you think about it, right? You might enjoy the world, the characters enough to the point where you're like, nah, I want to take these dudes online. And like I said, the game is good. The combat is fun. Especially after I played the verse mode. That really became clear to me. Honestly, like I was getting into it a little bit, but my first impressions of the combat was not positive. Like I was watching people like Yaya making videos and I'm seeing the gameplay. I'm like, why does that look so lit? And when I'm playing, it's not the same at all. It wasn't until I touched versus mode that I realized this. So I think that's important to mention. There's a lot of like QTEs, like stalemates. I think of a boss fight in a game and how it's a little bit scripted. That's kind of what happens, and that slows down the combat. You might be having some trust issues at this point, but I'm sorry, it's the last one. I promise. But let's place a bet. Let's place a bet. I'm betting that there will be no less than 3 Demon Slayer games as the story is evolving. It honestly has to. Like, there's no other option, you know? Like, this isn't a debate. By the second or third game, the story will have been at a very good point, right? A lot of characters have been introduced. More specifically, they Wind Hashira.
Funny, because, like, at the same time, I don't actually see this as a problem. Necessarily. I think. At least it's not the problem I'm referring to. Kind of. The real other problem is the fact that the verse mode gameplay is so good. Anime fans tend to like these arena fighters, especially when they have this level of competitiveness despite simple controls, but there's also a lot of anime fans, or a big subset of anime fans, that don't like, you know, these arena fighters and are simply buying the game for the story. Which brings us to a stalemate. I will say, though, I was extremely surprised to see an enormous lack of interest in this game when it was first announced and we learned it was going to be an arena fighter. And like, I think it was more so the fact that CC2 was behind it and people still were scared. That's really what it is. In my opinion, with this first Demon Slayer game, with the story not being too long, I guess I'm assuming that they'll have this first part and another part in the 2 and 3, who knows? But either way, to get the most out of this game, you need to dedicate half of your playtime to online. So, if that isn't your preference, full price might be a hard sell.
So actually, no, I got it. The real other problem is a combination of the two.
The shortness of the game puts a limit on how long you'll be entertained. So without an interest to try the superior online gameplay, you're missing out on basically half of the game's value.
Or maybe you enjoy walking around, gathering collectibles, 100%ing the game for more gameplay. Bro, it's up to you. It's up to you.
Man, I enjoyed playing through the beginning of the story, like I said. You know, it's been so long since I read the beginning of Demon Slayer. And, you know, when it comes to stories like this, I already forget names, but like, over time, it's like the story overwrites itself in my mind. And so it's like I have a vague, jumbled memory of the early chapters, but I never have all the details. And so at one point while I was playing, there was this part that I doubted was like actually happened in the show, in the manga. So I quickly picked up my phone, went to my Shonen Jump app, and had to fact check on these fools. And I was surprised to see that it was basically spot on, which is mostly true for the whole game. They even recreated like the little things. Maybe they weren't little, but to me they felt little, like the meme facial expression that Tanjiro did to Zenitsu. And like from that point on, which was somewhat early, it felt like they used the manga as their direct reference for the game. But I was confused by the vagueness of the Wind Hashira and that Nezuko scene towards the end. My man stabs Nezuko in the box, and that was it. They didn't do anything else. Like, she didn't come out, nothing. They just changed scenes. I was like, wait, aren't you guys forgetting something? And that happens somewhat often for other scenes where it's like they just left out this like small part. There were some times where I was like, I want to see more animation versus just having the 3D models standing there with the voice lines rolling. But again, it's okay because what was animated was nice and smooth. And to be completely honest, the reason I was dragging my feet at the start and not entirely enjoying my playthrough was because I kept thinking, I was like, I just want to play the next game where I could be playing as characters that I really like. But as I was getting better at the game and the story was picking up, I was able to appreciate the game for what it was. Inosuke, I think it's right, Inosuke, yeah. He's my favorite, man. He was so fun to play as, and like, as it is with the roster, I'd say he's probably my favorite character. The last good piece of this game is the fact that they stayed pretty true to the story and the gameplay is extremely solid. With a good foundation like this, the series is only going to get better and better. And that goes to say for both aspects, right? The story mode and the verse mode. And for all you care, by the time Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Hinokami Chronicles in the Red Light District After Dawn when Demon, also known as Demon Slayer 3, drops, with everything said and done, maybe I become way more interested in putting more time into, into the game past story mode. Who knows?
Probably not.